It's Perp back with another video, and A24 has been re-releasing a lot of their movies on IMAX. The first was Ex Machina, did not get around to watching that. The second was Hereditary, and the next one is going to be Uncut Gems. All I'm going to have to say, A24 should just continue to release their movies on IMAX. Specific movies, obviously. I would like to see them re-release Pearl and X just in time for Maxine, and hopefully Maxine is in IMAX, so that's a completely different experience from what we normally get with A24. They're really kind of just expanding on another level. But that brings me to Hereditary and why I wanted to revisit this movie, because I haven't watched this movie since I saw it in theaters back in 2018, and that movie has stuck with me since. I have a review of that on my channel, but that's really just kind of giving my reaction, kind of thoughts and feelings about it. It's not going in depth or in detail, and I still feel the same way after watching it, but watching it on an IMAX screen was something different, because with IMAX you get a little bit more extra information on camera, or on screen I should say. And man, it's like watching this movie for the first time again. I just absolutely love this movie, and just what it means, or just what it's trying to say in it, and what it does for the horror genre. Because we get these possession movies lately that are kind of half-assed, and they're very predictable. And what I love about this movie is the symbolism and the foreshadowing in the first half of this movie, because it really breaks everything down. And then once you get to like that one classroom scene with Alex Wolff's character, Peter, and there's just so much foreshadowing in this scene where the teacher's breaking down this story, and on the I think it was the chalkboard, you see the themes, and there's all these different things, and the first one is escaping fate, and they're just kind of talking about things that are about to occur in this actual story. And there's certain things that stuck with me when I first watched it, but now I watch it a second time, you really understand like everything was kind of laid out and meant to happen. Even when Toni Collette's character Annie's mom dies, that's what kind of sets everything into motion. It's a very subtle and like a slow burn at first, but then once we get to the party where Charlie and Peter go to, and we have that whole beheading incident, which was fucking that shit still gives me the chills, bro. That shit still is effective to this day, and that's one thing that Hereditary really gets right, is its tone and its atmosphere. That shit is just so underrated, and I feel like that's why a lot of people end up really loving this movie. The themes aside are really brilliant too, and just taking what we know about possession movies and kind of flipping on its head and just doing something more realistic. And let me talk about Toni Collette's character right quick, Annie. I don't understand how she didn't get nominated for something, because I'm watching her act, and you see her going from this one character at the beginning, and then once Charlie dies, her character changes dramatically as she's like working on this project, which, man, the transitions as well in this are just so fucking smooth. Like the beginning of this movie where we're looking at like this little, I guess you could call it like a dollhouse or whatever Annie was working on, and how it zooms in on Peter's room, and then we transition into Peter's room, and everything comes to life. That shit's fucking fire. And it's just the attention to detail in this movie that really makes it um special, you know. And going back to Toni Collette's character, it's just seeing all the things that happens with her character, her doing the seance with Joanne's character, which her I'm drawing a blank on the actress's name, but she'll always be Patty from The Leftovers for me. And it's funny enough that her character in that in The Leftovers was also a cult member. So, you know, just all the little details and how she was talking to Joanne about her dreams and stuff, and they weren't really dreams, they're just things that are about to happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's such a fascinating movie, man. Just even to the reveal of the demon or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just if you just pay attention to what's being shown, like even when Annie finds the book and she finds out like what's going on with her mom and what's going on with the house, it's already kind of too late. And it all goes back to what I was talking about with that classroom scene when they were breaking down this story. That I'm gonna paraphrase, but they're talking about like there's no hope for these characters and whatnot. It's just very meta for the story that was being told, and there's just a lot of things happening in the background, and the psychological aspect to it was just fucking brilliant. Because once Charlie dies, you know, that completely changes, you know, the vibe of the whole entire film, and you just see it take an effect on not only Annie's character but Alex Wolff's character. And Alex Wolff's character did an amazing job crying like a little bitch, bro. Like, you really believe that he was just terrified, he was traumatized by this whole situation that happened with his sister. And I always go back to that scene, man. And like I said, I've only, like, before seeing this again, that's the one scene that always stuck out to me, and I thought that was a brilliant scene where after Charlie's head comes off and whatnot, Peter is just in shock. Like, he could barely say anything, bro. And just the music and how subtle just that whole scene played out with him driving home, not even wanting to look back. He doesn't even want to look back. He just goes to his room and just lays down and doesn't even go to sleep. Now, this is what's dope about IMAX, or if you go to like a Dolby, is the sound. The sound quality in this movie is insane. Like, when we get to that scene of him laying down, you can hear everything that Annie is doing, Toni Collette's character is doing. She's telling her husband, like, I'm about to leave, you know what I'm saying? And then you just literally hear her walking. Like, it sounds like somebody's walking, like, on the side of the screen or something like that. It's just so fascinating how the sound kind of bounces off in different directions. Like, I always recommend people going to check out a movie in IMAX or Dolby, because it's like a completely different experience. Overall, this movie is incredible, and I just don't understand the people that cannot like this movie. And it just does everything right that you would want out of a horror movie. The psychological aspects, like the characters' minds being fucked with, the supernatural aspect. It's not too over the top or crazy. You know, there's not no crazy CGI demon or nothing like that. It's all just family trauma, family shit. Like, it's, man, I almost want to watch this again in IMAX, but I know it's only out for one night. But this is an incredible, incredible movie. Toni Collette just does her thing throughout this whole entire movie. The dinner table scene, fantastic. Just everything about this movie is what I love about horror. So I just wanted to make this video to kind of give you my thoughts on revisiting Hereditary. Let me know how you guys feel about Hereditary in the comments below. Till next time, I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.